Most we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Hashem, Rakadash. I would say double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Soon and do well. Salutation to the brothers all over the world preaching the truth, waking up our people to the divine heritage and curse people out, but we get the mind right with the Lord. Even to the awkward and listener, and then we say shalom to the brothers that may look like the other nations. Shalom. Shalom. Now we're going back and we're going into our topic this evening. It's just slavery and how it coincides with prophecy or modern prophecy, modern day prophecy. Right? You know, you have people like Jacob Malone, Gino Jennings would actually tell you that we are not the Israelites, and then when you're jamming with question, he says, so what if we're the Israelites? So what, you asshole? That is what we is. The Israelite. That is what we is. You understand? So what is a big, it is a big what? And I'm trying to say it because sometimes in these things that we hear certain things they just you understand what I'm talking about? And then you're talking about some famous video or so, like you are bringing up, I think this guy, this Christian guy, you know him, who always back in the Israelites and all this knows about them. Not book about it, that guy and that guy. About the Gino Jennings was saying that where this brother, I think the brother from Chicago camp, not Chicago, no, some camp in the when the white woman come up and you know, I cannot push you down and you long.
That is in San Francisco. San
Francisco, yeah. And that is a whole scene. Oh, and Gino Jennings balling on that. You push the white woman down like she was some animal. Yes, she's a fucking animal. She's an animal.
So like, yeah, if I could say some, no, you see. That is why Elder Malcolm has always had to pong on Gino Jennings because he's a very manipulative. You know to get within your mind, but you know. When I say get within your mind, I'm talking about the ones who is low hanging fruit now, but easy to pick, you know. Because if you had watched that video in its entirety from the beginning, you would see that woman, she pushed the individual, she pushed the brother. Alright? She pushed the brother and the brother does defend himself. Alright? The brother does defend himself. But that way you call it again, you know, slander and demonization. You would always you wouldn't get nothing better from these guys, from Gino Jennings and these guys. But it is what it is. But go ahead, on God.
Yeah, so right, so hey, this is what we have. This is what we have facing with this world here. You understand? We'll fight. The battle is on. And as the battle is on, we are to get very minded more and more and more in this thing. Bible says that is my even Philippians 1:5 there. Right? Even Philippians 1:5. When you're ready for hey, all them playing you yeah, but I could sell for you know. And you give me old Jews then that's from. Right. Yeah, bring it down.
The book of Philippians chapter 2 and verse 5.
Right.
So let this mind be in you.
What the Bible says?
Let this mind be in you.
He said, let this mind be in you. Now, what mind we talking about? The mind of the Mashiach. What the mind of Mashiach understood? It understood justice and judgment. Everybody understand this?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Which was also in the Mashiach Yahushai.
Which was also in Hamashiach Yahushai, because he and the Father shared the same mindset. You understand that? Why he said, I and my Father are one, while we one in mind. So therefore, if he and his Father is one in mind, then we and him also have to be one in mind, because we are joint heirs with the what? With the Son of God. Everybody understand this thing?
That's right.
We know about again.
Philippians 2 and 5, it said, let this mind be in you. Which was also in the Mashiach Yahushai.
And Mala, get this one in Corinthians where you say that we all speak the same thing, in the same mind. Well, First Corinthians 1 and verse 10. Yeah, read it one more time again.
Let this mind be in you, which was also in the Mashiach Yahushai, who being in the form of Yahweh, thought it not robbery to be equal with Yahweh.
And it is not wrong for us to be, when I mean to be equal to Yahweh Shai in the sense that we are joint heirs with him. Now we're not equal to him to say we high as him, but we equal in the mind. You understand? Because with the same mindset and the same spirit. You understand? Because Yahweh Shai say, he that isn't born of my spirit is none of me. You have something that's right. All right, so bring on the scripture there.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 10.
Well,
now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, that he all speak the same thing.
Because we're in the same mind, so we speak the same thing. You know how to expect, but then the guy when he come out to preach, I expect everyone to come with a different doctrine. That's all. Well,
and that there be no divisions.
And there be what? No divisions among us. Like the guys wanted, well, with you know, that's why the reason why we said it together, because there's no division among us. We cannot feast together with somebody that is unrighteous. We cannot feast together with, well, light and darkness cannot fellowship together. That's the agree. Whether,
but that he be perfectly joined together.
That we may be what?
Perfectly joined together.
See, like all of us here, we are brick right now. We are the every brother here is a block within David's spiritual house. Not just only in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Grenada, in Guyana, in America, in Africa, all over the place. Where the yeah, every brother is a block. And you know what? We perfectly joined together. Well,
in the same mind.
In the same what?
In the same mind.
In the same mind, go ahead.
And in the same judgment.
And in the same mind and the same judgment. Again, something else? Yeah, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 23 and verse 37.
Yeah, must be something. That's
yeah,
but then come on. Wait. Start from 31. Let me start from 31.
Matthew 23 and 31. Right. It said, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them that which kill the prophets.
The children of them that what?
That kill the prophets.
All right, and this is Yahweh here speaking to what the scribes, Pharisees, you know, the 2/3. All right, because when I go back to Salakia, if you don't mind, when I go back to that's to strengthen it up. When I go right back to Romans 11, when I go right back to Romans 11, like spread it, about trying to come right on the scripture. Romans 11, and I will go straight to the point, verse 3. Lord, they have killed thy prophets and take down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek after my life. Now, who is this speaking here? This is Elias. In the Greek, it says Elias, but we know it is speaking about Elijah. All right, because when they go back to the history, when they go back to the Old Testament, all right, when it was Elijah was hiding from Jezebel, all right, because Jezebel was putting a lot of the prophets to death, all right, and Elijah, I think Elijah and I think Obadiah, they were hiding the prophets by 50s in caves, all right. So when I come back here, all right, when I come back here to Romans 11, a matter of fact, I will start from 1 to get essence of what we explaining to match with the scripture there in Matthew. All right. So as you can see at the top here, it marks what Israel's rejection not final. All right, because Christians, and there's a beautiful topic that they're going into here. Just to make a long story short, Christians does always teach us a doctrine of supersessionism or replacement theology. All right, that the Most High God done away with the children of Israel. All right, but this scripture cuts all that nonsense. All right. I said then, Romans 11 and 1, I said then, had Yahweh cast away his people? Question mark. God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. The Most High God had not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What you know not that the scripture said of Elias, how he maketh intercession to Yahweh against Israel? Against Israel. Why was he making intercession to the Most High God against Israel? Because 2/3 of Israel was just plainly wicked. All right, 2/3 of Israel was just just on the mindset of kill the righteous one. All right, because we want to do what we will. We want to do our will. All right, the Holy Spirit was since back then until now. All right, but let's continue. Yeah, can. All right. So that's why that even Jeremiah was making intercession against Israel. All right. When they tried to kill him, they put him in a pit, in a cesspit. You understand? All before he was making intercession for them, but when he really get to see the stench, right, and they was plotting for his life, he started to make intercession against them.
Yeah, that way just like that way just work here. It's ready for them, but we know 2/3 of them win here, so then God break it down to have an election. Like when we go into Romans 11:7, he say what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the Lord blind the rest of them. That's what it is. So the rest of them blind out.
So going on, all right. So going on, it says, verse 3, Lord, they have killed thy prophets.
So they what?
They have killed thy prophets.
And that is what you do in spirituality, generally. They kill the prophet. You helping the white boy, so-called white boy, the Edomite called vocabulary. You help. Like you rejecting this, you helping he kill the Lord's prophet. So your hand of blood just as his hand.
They have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone.
Right, say they kill the prophet, dig down the Lord's altar. You understand? You know, altar represent the truth. They want to match on this truth.
That's right.
And now what? And now we like in the little Elijah, Lord, we are left alone. You understand? But then you can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, because the truth will stand. This is the time when the Lord will flourish it, and the righteousness will cover the earth. You can't stop this truth.
And and they seek after my and they seek my life.
And they what?
And they seek my life.
Yeah, go ahead.
But what said the answer of Yahweh unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men,
which is the elect of the nation of Israel. That 7,000 men represent the elect of the nation of Israel, which represent the 144,000 men.
Who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So we was reading. All right.
23 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Read. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves.
So you 2/3, you Gino Jennings, you Creflo Dollar, you we name us that pork juice one. Potter's house now, boy.
Oh yeah.
TD Jakes. All right, all you are witness unto yourselves along with your congregation. No? Your mass congregation, you all are witness unto yourselves. What?
Therefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves.
Bring it out.
That ye are the children of them.
That ye are the children of them.
Which killed the prophets.
Which killed the prophets. So that shows they are again reincarnation right there. All right? The same people come back. The same spirits come back to do the same work. They fall right back into the let. All right? To do the same wicked acts that they was doing way back then. Well, sorry.
It fills you up then the measure of your fathers.
Fill you up then the measure of your fathers.
Yeah, in other words, yeah, when you measure the wickedness, you can measure Jake wickedness with the wickedness of their forefathers. Here's the difference with the wickedness, huh? The wickedness of the forefathers is that they still knew that they were the Israelites, even though there was a wickedness. But you niggas more wicked, do more evil today because you all can't even remember all the children. And you're rejecting it. So you're turning your back on your own righteousness.
So that even more wicked than the wicked are Israelites, right? Because it's kind of like you know your heritage, right? But you still go against it, but now you actually rejecting it. You say, hey, I don't want this.
Yeah. Remember all the scripture. Hosea 4:6 said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. because thou have rejected knowledge, right? They reject knowledge, I will also reject thee.
And so, back to the video, I have to do, okay, so we be our wicked ones, because we alone on that level that going back to laws and commandments, and we know that, hey, but when they're going back into that over the slaughter and the prophets, and this time when they come, hey, we're going to be targeted, we're going to be the most, number one, yeah, we're going to be terror, most wanted terrorists. They can't even go in. If you feel like go in and buy something to eat, if you feel it, you can walk in a normal clothes store, wherever you feel like go, you most wanted. They watch a movie, when they run into the bank, and I see all the channel, I see them pick there, stick up here, and hey, the man with the bed, the man out in the highways, you see, the pastor, like that, they come running down with, and casting me, throwing me in prisons. Hey, all this is a part of the truth. All this is a part of we trying to be fit.
The scripture say, "Well, church and 10 days."
Can
people keep until death.
bring it up fast Kyle, Revelation 2 and 10, because all that we didn't have a precept to bring on before that. Well, preach around, and I go make I started bringing book
Now, right? So the up one thing, like that destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me and still have to add to, because people like T.D. Jakes, they know we are the Israelites. T.D. Jakes was on two separate programs. He went on a program at a small church, talking about the Hebrews, and that they are black, they are Jews. Right? So he said he's a Jew, he's a black Jew. But when he went on his big time church, he rejected the fact that he's a Jew, and he said he's a Gentile, and they're Gentiles.
They're fraud.
What? So this year he say what he rejected knowledge, and that's why Lord say all these false pastors, them ain't no priest to Yabashim Yahushai. Right? Them is false prophets. And Yabashim Yahushai gonna destroy them. Right?
Because they're not after the Messiah.
Can.
Say same Pharisees spirit back here today. Same Pharisees spirit come back today. You can point a finger and say, hey, the Israelite, they calling upon Yahushai. They feel that he can come to the sky with the chariots and deliver a certain amount of men, and they contradicting in their mind, they contradicting the doctrine, but they always getting cut because they ain't coming against the apostles, they ain't coming against the brothers we're doing. Like or watching these what call them IYC. Yeah, IYC, well these bug out chicks. They want to go in front of your shit and debate. At the time, they don't really try to debate. But we know in ways their judgment, where it's set for.
Yeah, because
it makes no sense.
Here's the gospel. I'm about to back up on Howard. Here's the gospel. The gospel is repent or die. I don't have to come in front of your church and try to convince you or not. The word is already out there. Repent or die.
Every one of them listen to the word. These pastors know, but they take the bag. They serve mama. You can't serve Yabashim Yahushai and mama.
As I see a couple Sundays, I see right here a couple Sundays ago. These men is the leaders of the nation of Israel. IUIC and them. These leaders of the nation of Israel. Right? The apostles and the elders are the true leaders of the elect of Israel. This is what it is all about. The elect. Fuck away with the 2/3. You so what now?
Yeah, it say, thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. Right? And we know that going into all the wicked pastors too, but I'm not preaching that. Right? I will also forget thy children.
You will also forget what?
Thy children.
Right, so go back to scripture.
Right, Matthew 23 and verse 32. It says, fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Right? Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell?
Because you see the thing is they done just like they done just like the fathers. Alright? They done like when you go back to the scripture here, second and just
I need to make a thing for him. He said it's always going to the spirit, man. They just come.
Alright? This is second and just 1 and 5. It reads, go thy way, and shew my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness.
Somebody can say Maya chapter 9.
Which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange God, I could go down more, but you know,
And
we just show you the same spirit that the fathers had, it transferred right onto them. It transferred right onto them. That is why they're in that.
You know,
Yeah.
spirits is a catching thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know too much in one thing, and you know that wrong, and you are around that. Before you know, you acting like that because why? It's a catching thing. Now, in the script that we call for total separation, and we're supposed to separate people from people. Yeah,
it's subjected prophet the same way the spirit of the false prophet
subjected to them.
false prophets. It was their fathers too. Yeah. Matthew 23 and verse 34 says, "Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city."
From city to city, and that was taking place back then. And what you see, reason why we coming out with this, right, is to show you all these things here, all these records that is being recorded here from what had took place back at that time, is to show you the reason why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had cause to put us in such a hardcore slavery. You understand? Because these things here, it is what helped usher on the curses to such a high degree. Because when you go to somebody, give Luke 21:20. All I know what I'm talking about. Either 21:20 or 20:21. One out of the two.
I mean, you have a Kyle.
Call out the scripture. Call out the scripture. Yeah. Salakia.
This is the book of Luke chapter 21 and verse 20.
Watch this, sir.
Read. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And the Christians still looking for the desolation of abomination, call it. But that don't take place. That was 70 AD.
Some Antichrist man coming.
Yeah, right. But anyhow, go ahead. Read.
21. Said, then let them which are in Jerusalem flee to the mountains, and let them which
so what is that genogenin? Since you the smarty pants and all the Christian fraternity, what is that? What do you mean by flee to the mountain? What that represent? Huh? What that represent? Break that down for me. We want to you do a video on the keyboard, right? And break that down for me now. And break it down correctly. Continue on.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Go ahead.
And let not them that are in the country enter thereinto.
Go ahead, continue.
For these be the days of vengeance.
For these be the days of vengeance.
That all things which are written
that
may
all
be
what?
fulfilled.
That all what?
That all things which are written may be fulfilled.
Which goes to the curses. Because the curses that fallen upon us is the Lord taking his vengeance upon us for what? Go right back to where I was reading Yerushalayim and yeah, quench his spirit. What I say that when you say that all things which are written may be fulfilled, which is speaking about directly the curses.
Right. So we going through slavery, and Esau being that one, and the other nation, the other nations coming and harming Israel, touching those as I. Also, they have their judgment. The heathens and everything. Also, the judgment for the heathens. I'm going to put it in 2 Corinthians 15 and 10. So the pension of them, bring it out. Let's back it up now. Showing that 2/3, to say the whole nation of Israel, let's say, get because of the breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments, and going off, the Lord put into slavery, and the ones that who put into slavery,
well,
he done.
You go turn right back onto them according to
so.
We took 2 and I can't remember the exact place, but but
Matthew 23 and 35. Read that upon you may come all the righteous blood.
That upon you, all right, that upon you may come all the righteous blood
shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zechariah, son of Bacchias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar.
And you see, there is a situation here. You guys, you guys just want to lollygag in your wickedness, all right? And don't want to subject yourself to the truth. And the truth consists of the prophecies, all right? Because again, where in history, all right, where in history that these other nations suffer the curses that is written here in Deuteronomy chapter 20, where these other show me, give me the date, the time, you know, the advent, the historical facts, artifacts, and all these things.
Like the apostles say, when history did this small hat went through that,
right?
When
all these curses.
When history, you know, Jen, and you, especially to you have one big mouth, your mouth over big. So when history did the small hats on them, those so-called rats in Jerusalem, those so-called white people,
they so-called, they are rats.
They are rats. They're not so-called. They are the rats.
They are rats.
Right. So when did that happen to them?
They never had them enough.
But Islam himself was a so-called Jew.
Correct.
See, that's the point.
Hitler knew.
Hey, we gotta study in this thing. Islam himself was
a small hat. His name was Adolf Schickelberger.
Correct.
That was his name. Yeah. He was Rothschilds and them. Right? Yeah. His name was Adolf Schickelberger.
See the thing about we, you know, we don't play. We just study.
All right? And
so when you talk about, if you were to quote Hitler, Hitler was also a so-called Jewish guy.
The thing is, Schickelberger knew. When Schickelberger read the scriptures, he come to the realization and understanding that, hey, these people who claiming to be us are not us. All right? That's why he dealt with them in such a way how he dealt with them. All they want to claim, right? Well, all right. Well, I will do all here according to what the scriptures say with the Most High God.
Right. And when I do that now, let me see all they have a God to save all.
You understand? That's why, and the thing about it is, the scripture say what? He's going to take into Egypt again, which is slavery, again, with ships, not trains. Right? Not trains, but ships.
And we have,
right?
We have the Harry might say, nobody knows ship can be a metaphor for train.
What's fucking a ship can be a metaphor?
They have dirty Harry.
Yeah, Harry Rosenberg.
Yeah.
But so you want to listen some? Go ahead. So, yeah.
Matthew 23, 23 and 36. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
All these things shall come upon this generation. When he said this generation, he's speaking about this generation here now, today, that reject Yahweh, that reject Yahweh's right, that reject the truth, that reject the prophets, all right? Reject this word, all right? Reject your nationality. All these things here, these judgments that coincide with your wickedness that you have to receive is going to come upon you.
Again, that's why the Lord says he reserved the elect. There are 7,000 men, as the scripture says, that will bow the head to the system, that will rise above the water, will always keep the head above the water, and see the wickedness of Israel. That's why he says, set a seal upon him in Ezekiel chapter 9. A seal is a seal called Tawa, or Tab. Right? To the others, he says, slay utterly. I don't you with the school long, they slay them utterly.
This second Ezra 7 and verse 16. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? All right, but I hold these people studying, all them pastors, but they really do believe that it's kingdom going to end. Right? Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things.
That the what?
That the righteous should inherit these things, but the ungodly should perish.
But the ungodly should perish, and that is what is going to take place.
See, the whole life with you Christians, you just can't believe God or the Lord have a chosen people. You think everybody could be a chosen? If that is so, the Lord, if everybody is God's chosen people, that is antichrist.
There's no balance there.
There's no balance, and then by the time false balance is what an abomination.
Joel chapter 2, verse 27 says God of Israel and none else.
And he would read that for them, and they would. I read that for somebody, and they try the best to try to see how they can maneuver around that. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple. It's very simple. Easy. Yeah, that's not what it means. Yeah, that's not what it means.
No, and then let's go in Genesis and
I had to go and ask my pastor.
Ask like, yeah. Then let's go in Genesis and read a scripture in Genesis where they say that and through Abraham all nations shall be blessed.
And speaking of, that all nations should be blessed, is speaking about the 12 tribes of Israel, because each tribe is like a nation.
But you can't ask, when you write power, people rejoice.
I know one thing. I know
they are going to be blessed, but only when Israel and rulership.
And until that time, it's chaos and wickedness. So as you can see, the righteousness and authority right now. So those small hats that calling themselves the people are not the people. It's time and time we just, the Lord has proven it more and more and more. So like you have a scripture, and jump in and start.
Right? Matthew 23 and verse 37. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets.
Thou that killest Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Wow. Thou that killest the prophets.
And stonest them.
And what?
And stonest them.
And you know these Jake and them out here, if them had the will, them stone we?
Yeah.
If them couldn't get an S, where the government can say, anytime we see these men with these kind of God kill them all, they will do that.
And the stones, it ain't gonna be literal stone, they will be bullet.
Yeah, we're correct.
That's what they go to, you understand?
Because we live in this time here.
Yeah, the stone will be bullet. You know, so go ahead.
Thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee.
Which are what?
Which are sent unto thee.
Which are sent unto thee. All right. Is the Lord sent thee unto all here. This, right? We didn't come out here just on we own will. All right. He didn't just come out so on we own will. The Lord choose particular men. All right. The Lord choose particular men to come out here and to teach you all. To teach you all that, hey, you all are the children of Israel. All right. You all been lied to. You all ain't no stinking Africans. All right.
And you know in Babylon, when you say you got soon,
yeah,
that will become to Esau and all these other nations. You got still they charge sheep. You put the against Israel.
Yeah, because you have to answer one big fat question, which is the ultimate question. If I'm an African, why I'm not in Africa?
Or why haven't the Africans
come when we came in slavery? Why didn't come back and bring back the children to Africa? You ever ask yourself that question?
What about Mandela? When Mandela came to America, when he had just released some prison and this and that and the other, they asked him Mandela, have you come to seeing that you come to make a plight for your people back in South Africa and whatnot? Have you what is your intention for the Negroes here in America, you know, and through the diaspora, you know, who came here to slavery and whatnot? Would you make a plight for them to go back home, for them to be repatriated and whatnot? He said he come, but he come to see about his people. Because he know that he is not our people. He know that he's a freaking Canaanite. Yeah. Cow piss bathing. You understand? Yeah, cow dung, big plate. Big plate. You know he's not our people. He know he's not our people. When Selassie came to them to the Benjamites over in Jamaica. Alright, and they're worshiping him like they was worshiping like a dog. Selassie. When they ask him,
and same we say, but it's just that the Jamaicans or the Benjamites, of course, they rally around him more than we. But people came out to see him. Dr. Eric William bring him here and say, well, you know, we have a king, but when you're in the truth, now you understand that he no relation to us. Because look, we're still in slavery with it. And when Marcus Garvey send the letter to Selassie and tell him, well, listen, the children down here in the West want to come home, he tell them, no, give them the
Bible. I was not going to say.
At least he was truthful about that part. For them to understand the identity, give them the Bible.
But did Marcus Garvey do that? No. Marcus Garvey was a sellout nigger to the same way. Yeah? Was a sellout nigger. Yeah? Marcus Garvey was a sellout nigger. Yeah? That's why the scripture, when you go back to Deuteronomy 28:68, where it speaks about and no man shall buy you. Nobody ain't gonna redeem us out. You niggas is to stay here in the slavery. You spicks is to stay here in slavery. Alright? You went back.
They do the kingdom past. They ain't saying no this.
You understand?
He think he's a Spanish.
Yeah, he think he, you know?
So he doesn't have
Yeah, Hispanic.
And he like think he's a Hispanic.
Yeah. You understand?
And that's showing here. So the only ratchet, that's really Babylon, the valley of confusion.
Valley of dry bones. Alright? So what up?
Yeah, maybe two, Matthew 23 and 37. It say, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou which killest the prophets and stonest them which have sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathered her chickens,
Even as a hen gathered her chickens
under her wings?"
And that scripture there just proved that the Apocrypha is inspired and is the word of the Most High God. Alright? Because where did Yahweh Shai get that's what you saying there? We prove it. That it is second address. We prove it. Yeah, what now? All this is them trying to keep us away from our.
You have something to bring out? Bring out your thing now. You bring out your
That's the book of Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 10. Right. It says, "Behold, my people is laid as a behold, my people is laid as a flock to the slaughter."
As a what?
It is laid as a flock to the slaughter.
Yeah, Israel is like a flock to the slaughter, or like lambs to the slaughter. You understand? That's what we are. Because why? Because we bow down, we head to the system. You understand? When you understand the 12 tribe, when you understand the 12 tribe, it's the sign here with his head tribe Judah. Judah was supposed to be the one who would bring the word of God to the rest of the tribe. But it had the times in the uprising, you know what I'm talking about, in America now, where Judah, it had a time Judah was standing up for the right and the black power.
Civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement. That's right. You understand? So they were standing up for the right. And then after when that died out, then Judah went back asleep. And then the Lord now had to turn around and cause things to happen and bring them back up now. But this time now, with the gospel, with the truth, and then preserve the elect of this very same nation that will hear it and fulfill it with just with making.
And I just say the civil rights movement and all was a sham, because the leaders of the civil rights movement, all right, they were sellouts. They were in bed with the Rothschilds and what have you. Again, no man is going to redeem you.
Yeah, like Martin Luther King.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, he said, "I integrate my people into Master's burning house." And instead of we burn down Master's house, we allow the people to try to think out Master's house. You can't out the house of the person. Let it burn. Let it burn.
Continue. That's what I'm going now.
What I was going to say is that, and that's something that he's always trying to have an interaction into Jake when Jake and the right stuff is to take what I'm to some leader. But they can't do that to the apostles and the elders and them. That is a very important thing. I can show you that these men are the true men too.
That's why into what you're now saying. That's why Henry Kissinger is not Henry Kissinger, now is J. Edgar Hoover. Right? He was the first director of the FBI. And the FBI had just been implemented. But he said if Negroes will never have a black messiah unless we give it to them.
Control of position.
Right?
Control
unless
of
we give it to them.
Right? So continuing in the book of
That is why this revolution wouldn't be a revolution of man. It would be God's revolution now. Because man had the revolution and it failed. Now this is God's revolution. And you can't stop this truth. You cannot stop this truth.
So continuing the book of 2 Chapter 50, continuing to stand, it say, read it back, it say, behold, my people is laid as a flock to the slaughter.
You say my people is laid as what?
A flock to the slaughter.
Well,
it say, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
Yeah, somebody give me Jeremiah 23 and start at verse 7. Jeremiah 23 and start at verse 7.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1.
And verse 7.
7. Therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh.
Because he just read, he said, I will not suffer my people to dwell in this place anymore, right? Go ahead.
Say that they shall no more say Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
So you, Gino Jenin, you're going to see this, you and Vocab, you're going to see this prophecy come to pass before your very eyes. Right? And the very tongue that you use and call, don't nuclear fire coming to America, you're going to see it for yourself. You're going to see it for yourself. Now, you know who you are in the spirit now, and I said it and I'll say it again live because brothers have to put up thumbs up with it. You are Hananiah. You are Hananiah in the spirit. What did Hananiah do? Hananiah, when Jeremiah came prophesying doom unto Judah and told him that Nebuchadnezzar will come and take them away into slavery, Hananiah rose up against Jeremiah and said, no, the Lord didn't prophesy that. Same thing you, Gino Jenin, doing. So we know exactly who you are in the spirit. Who's reading? Who's reading?
Yeah, continuing in verse 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand.
No. Sebastian. Kyle, don't read it. Kyle, read it over again.
This is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 7.
Right.
Say, therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
So he said, the days come when we will no more say, behold, the Lord bring out the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. You know, the Lord said that saying is an old school tired saying. Lord shall put up again that saying. I have a new saying to put up on the earth. Go ahead.
Say, but Yahweh liveth, which brought
there is the new saying, but Yahweh liveth, well,
which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country.
Out of the what?
North country.
Out of the what?
Out of the north country.
For you, Gino Jenin, out of the north country.
And from all countries where I have driven them.
Yeah, all over the diaspora. So that prophecy coming to pass in front of your face. Big time. Big time. Big time.
It will be the Lord's revolution. And when you do it as a force, it will prove that true.
A what? Wow. Hey, boy.
You can't because you know come to Acts. You know?
Yeah, you the scripture said and the saints are take the kingdom now.
That is what we come to do. That is what it's Gino Jenin. You want to see that. You want Vocab want to see that. And you are going to bow on your knees and know that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
See the prophecy where it says, and this shall be the king that shall come upon the earth.
Yeah.
And their eyes shall consume.
There shall be the plague upon all them who fought against Jerusalem now, boy.
Yeah.
You understand? You bring it out now.
This Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
Then shall
out.
The righteous man stand in great boldness.
Like now, we in great boldness right now. That will tell you to your face, Esau, Edom, you are the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
And made what?
No account of his labors. When they see it, and when Gino Jenin and them see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Yeah, going to be troubled with terrible fear because remember, you playing the part of Hananiah. I don't want to be a flea under your collar, brother. I don't want to be in Gino Jenin's shoes right now.
So, yeah, and I so spirit, that's so happy that he the prophets could link Gino Jenin back to Hananiah in the reincarnation.
That is who he is.
Because watch it. Just as how Hananiah had falsely prophesied, Jeremiah rightfully prophesied towards him for that false prophecy that he made. And he tell him, hey, for that, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is going to take your life away. All right? And what take place? Within that same year, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua put Hananiah to death.
So,
hey, right?
Hey,
right?
Right? You sent chills to my body, boy.
Right? So, when the fuck you feel going to take place with you? Let me be real. What you feel going to take place with you, Gino Jennings?
And you playing the role as that? Because that very same year that those missiles come into America, in the very same year, you will surely die.
Why have not now considered what this thing that is to come?
Come.
But they don't focus on the prophecy.
You want to be Gino Jennings to play the false prophet?
That same year Hananiah dead. We could go and read it in Jeremiah 28, man. That same year Hananiah dead. I tell you, when I see that shit, Gino Jennings saying America will not be destroyed by China by thermonuclear fire.
Yeah, actually, what you say? God said, when he comes back, America will function in checks. That's how we did. That's how we function in there. And America will function, you know the song.
Yeah.
America function, and you fucking idiot, it's going to blow a nuclear fire.
Not by this reason.
Yeah. That's why you have to fear Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Yeah, the Most High God. Alright? But you see now,
you have to play the role to that. You have to play the role as the first prophet. That's no
nice thing, but
you know, the Lord put set you up. Let me see you that issue that you are set up to play the role as the first prophet.
When you don't talk.
Right. Even men who was in the street. Even I just share how Jared says, even men that was in the street. Now it are same brother.
Yeah, because it has some of them who was in the truth and going back to Christianity, linking with Bokab and all kind of things. You understand?
Linking with
Yeah. And then it's a man who in the truth and linking it is so like a GOCC. And just the other night we spoke about that. You understand?
Yeah, GOCC. Yeah. Rikashai GOCC. He appoint our Edomite dude as captain over men in camp.
Yeah.
You believe that an Edomite over captain? When you read the scripture, you will take men out of your own tribe. The man of an Edomite over captain over men. No. Hey, Rick have another way around. And I'm telling you, to be in the shoes of the false prophet, Lord, I thank you about you, Shine. You didn't choose what
for that. Even if we didn't really make that grade that Yahweh Shai is looking for, because we don't know if he's the elect. We hoping that he's part of the elect, but we give praise and thanks and honor and glory unto Yahweh Shai that particular lot, he didn't put we in that lot. He didn't give we that lot. You understand? Even if we will, there ain't no excuse for we to say, when I say even if we make that grade, that thing give we an excuse, you know?
It didn't give you an excuse to draw back.
Yeah. What? To be put in that lot? I know a nice lot to be in, boy.
They say that's the fucked up
shit. Yeah. That's some fucked up shit in CS. So I said, Kyle, go now. That's how. When Kyle think you go, as soon as Kyle done, you will come through. Well,
the book of Sirach, chapter 41 and verse 8.
Well,
it says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Yahweh.
Yeah, all you pastors out there, especially you in the so-called black church, you all are good. The Lord called you all ungodly men. The Lord is talking to the Edomite pastor because you already ungodly. You are Edom, they're born that way. But you all are Israelites and choose to be ungodly.
But for if ye increase, it shall be your destruction.
So if you what?
For if ye increase, it shall be your destruction.
Yeah. So if you start to increase, the Lord said I'm going to be unto your destruction. The more lies you tell us, the more destruction coming your way.
Increase in your funds, with your 501c3 code. You understand? because the reason why they're pushing this all-inclusive doctrine, you understand, and what have you, is to make sure that the church is always full, because the more members, the more tithes.
Wow.
You understand? The bigger the bag.
You remember when we went IUIC, we went to Cape Town to visit Janet?
Yeah.
But we talk about that part. We talking now, they show the church. Yeah, that's the real living
Yeah,
fat.
he live in fat. He live in
That's
fat.
the real living fat.
All of them live in fat. Yeah, Janet, all of them they live in fat. Telling me he don't have a massive mansion.
So there's just a show here, but here where he trying to be a diplomat of Christianity, right? He trying to say, well, I'm going against the grain, but yet in the for the grain.
Yeah.
Different what I'm saying. I'm going against Christianity, but yet I will defend Christianity. You know, Jen,
You can't serve two masters at the same time, but yeah. Come now, yes, sir. Come now, yes, sir.
Yeah, push up.
Bring it out, bring it out.
Yeah.
Right, and then I go on. Then I go hard. You gotta heat up this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Bring it out, yes, sir.
Book of 2 Ezra,
Alright, bring it out.
chapter 9 and verse 10.
Bring it out hard.
It says, for such as in their life have received benefits and
Yeah,
have not known me.
like, real talk again.
Yeah, that's not. Push up some more.
Push up some. Right.
Yeah. Good. Go now, yes, sir. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me.
Bring it out over again, sir. Yeah.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits.
Yeah, for such as in their life, they have received benefits. All right, the 501c3 code. That's why when I go back to 2 Ezra 16 and 68, and I see and they that have consent. We feel that's speaking about. It's speaking about you sellout pastors, all right, who have gotten consent, all right, which goes all the way back to first Maccabees and all too, all right, where they went to the covenant with the heathen.
Yeah. That's what Gino Jennings actually saying. Make a covenant with America. Live good in America. Gino Jennings, the Jakes and all of them, they live good in America. He never said one thing wrong about America, you know.
No.
Gino Jennings is trying to make a life in America. That's what this nigga teaching.
None. Right?
And the word of God says to get, the word of God is to get out of Babylon. He trying to make a life in it.
Gino Jennings and them bit is a long line of reincarnated coons. You understand? All the way going back to the plantation. Right? Because how you feel, the whole scripture there, you said, how you feel. These men, how you feel Jake's could have been. We see it a prime example.
Yeah.
What's the name of the movie, boy? With Nat Turner.
Yeah, Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation. All right. When they go back to those times, all right, and you see how Negroes was end up into Christianity, end up into worshiping Cesare Borgia. It wasn't just so, you know. They will make sure and pick the most cooniest house nigger. You understand? All that. You understand? To make sure that who don't know he will have much influence on the people, much influence. Right? So they will make sure and groom me up and what have you, because that is where Nat Turner, that was Nat Turner before. Yeah, that is how we started off. You understand? And that just to show you, these pastors, you know, they fall in line.
You call it mental genocide.
Correct?
Teaching it to hate yourself.
Hate yourself. You understand? So they would choose these men. That's like how left and right hand, balance, left and right hand. Because you have Hashem Yashai chose we, right? But left hand, all right, he saw on the left hand side to choose these coon pastors. You understand? To do the deceiving. All right, and he have righteous man here on the right hand side. Yeah, who he choose. Right? Right?
My question, people was the video was the biggest time as skipping. Right? They just saying that you were telling them one of the man just telling next to me, how you have these
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
and you have the niggas reading and you have the niggas studying and they had them in the schools and you say, well, yeah, I have them scriptures. If they don't get them train them like us, them be around us and make them feel like they're one of us. Because if they don't do that, they would
rebel. They will rebel.
They will rebel.
You understand? So you had to make sure and pick the most, you had to make sure and choose the most funniest, just like how they do. Just like how they do now, Uncle Tom. A Sambo or Uncle Ruckus, right? Yeah, but because you see now that just goes like in the major universities, they respect the most brightest and the brightest intellectual ones. Right, to bring them into the Freemasonry, you understand? The Freemasonry and whatnot, so forth.
About young cousin, he's highly educated, whatever it is, and hey, they don't drag him.
Yeah, that what it is, right? So it's the same thing with these pastors, all right? And that's how your cemetery theological seminary, aka cemetery schools. Basically, it was made for, all right, to make sure and you have your best acoons, your best studious acoons, all right, to take in the teachings to the best of their ability, to come out there and do and push your lives and have them highly benefiting off it. So go back to the scripture.
Read all that.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 10.
Well,
for such as in their life have received benefit.
Yeah. Well.
And have not known me.
And they have not known you about Shiny and Shake now.
All them big because like some of them say the man who him about the watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
My congregation doesn't give me a watch yet.
Now what that don't and the fucked up thing about it is pimps on the pulpit.
Pimps on the pulpit.
And the shit up thing about this is he's niggas so blind, boy. Yeah. These niggas so blind in the churches. Preach on, pastor.
Yeah,
the action on that, man, boy.
He actually saying that you're all broke. He telling them, hey, you're all broke. You know? The voice of the oh, we're going to say one time again.
What now?
Number president from 2 days. When I was retired, fast service. She had cancer. And before she died, there's $500,000 she gave the pastor.
She whole like that was she life saving. She retirement. She gratuity.
And the thing called because she did that to the pastor, she will go to heaven. After being out with it,
but you can't buy yourself inside that. I say you can't buy your way in.
You can't buy your way, but and she's so stupid. The rich young ruler thought he cannot do it, and you have a share of stuff and say, well, go and sell all and follow me now. But again, I just say, Salakia, well, that just to show you the stupidity of these Christians, because all who do good and evil, they do go to heaven. Alright, because all spirits goes back to the ones who created it. Which is Yahweh the Father of the Spirit. Right? All spirits goes back to the one that created it. So you now going and giving your pastor $500,000 freaking dollars. $500,000 because you so want to go to heaven. I bet you when she reach up into the spirit world and she realized that she in the spirit world and in front of the Most High God and His Son, I bet you she must feel so stupid. No, but she would think so. But when you have a she the reality of the whole situation. Yeah. You understand? Don't but go on after your son.
And they that have noted my law,
and they that have noted, disrespected the law, Christian, yeah, hated, disrespect, make sacrilege unto the law. And that is what Christianity promotes. All right, Christianity is all about the laws are done away with. All right, we embrace, you know, we say by you don't even understand. Yeah, and if you have a sibling and they die with cancer or they die with some eating the body from eating this demonic food. Listen at them that eating the demonic food that the Lord leaves us not to eat. If you still doing it, then you become an abomination unto the Lord.
Because you are so if you eat all these on clean meat and all these things, we're gonna go on these things. When they take the pork and they put it up in the sun and it's still warms, so that the same thing going on inside your vessel. Eventually you're gonna start to get maggots, you're gonna start to get cancer, you're gonna start to get parasites inside your body. So how long you gonna really live for? Correct, right? But then you know that as we've been going back to the herbs, you know, going back to because the body, how the body made function, like simple as I was supposed to be a rashtam today. You know, as a bee is going and suffer from the pollen, right? The same way how we had to observe the fruits, the little vegetables, you know, the little fish, you know, the clean fish, you know, the scales and whatever it is, you understand? Mainly the herbs, you know, the leaves and certain things for just for the build up your immune system, to have things functioning. Like we flush out your vessel.
Yeah, because when you understand why the Lord make a separation from the separate the clean from the unclean. When you go through a scientific method, which is natural scientific method, you will understand the benefits of eating the clean meat. When you learn to eat fish with scale, you will understand why the fish have scale and what the fish produce in itself that is good for your body. You understand? But the thing is, all these unclean things with Jake, that go back to the person because, again, you know, Jake started to eat all these unclean things when they come across here in slavery. When they come across here in slavery, they were forced to eat them things. They was forced to eat that. And now from generation to generation to generation come down. These niggas glorify. Yeah, they glorify eating these abominable meats. And so I mean the cut here, but and listen to this. When you go into the grocery store or the supermarket and things, check all the meat of the clean. They get expensive, but check for is the easiest meat the easiest meat to purchase.
And what man said actually a holiday, you know, a day to celebrate your unclean day. That time you eat your swine.
And who promoting that? Who promoting that amongst you people to the highest order? These pastors.
Yeah, you're worshiping that idol, you're worshiping that. Then they know that you that still say they doing Lord's work and they send from the Lord and call themselves apostle and all kind of different things.
Man, see, you are apostle, you know, challenge ball, you say it out your own. And that's why the scripture say, for every idle word a man speaketh, he's going to, that's what because he's going to be held accountable for, you know, he's going to be judged. You understand? He's going to be judged. And you vex because we are the thing. Isaiah 5:20, Baba Kusha. Anybody? Isaiah 5:20. Scripture. Yeah. I ain't forget your call. Bring it out.
Say, woe unto them that call evil good.
Yeah.
And good evil.
This way it is. This way it is. You. When I was somewhere in Ezekiel, I think it's Ezekiel 20, where it speak about they need to separate the clean from the profane. All right, they want to They so in what's this, sir? The so Christianity is so within inclusion. They don't separate nothing at all, and down to unclean food. They don't even separate that and all, and
Everything in a color.
everything. Everything in a one, yeah, because like the same doctrine for God so loved the world. So even when they eating, everything included. Everything. It's kind of that the Lord gave us that differentiation between the clean and the unclean, and everything. Everything is all about your love and hug.
Everything
Bring it out.
our precepts.
Eat it finish to go back to your car. So like the end vocab.
Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariot like a whirlwind.
So we waited on that day. On that day when you have a bash, you shall come bust through the sky and go back to us. After some come to bed. Oh, that want them that is already there, the Lord. Them will be thinking, hey, rapture. But they know that the Lord coming continually.
Fire. Yeah. How long she the Christian? How long you waiting on the rapture?
Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
It's rebuked flames of fire because why? You all going off. You know you all going off because our people it's going off by all these swines, all these rats. You understand? And then we go down to where
for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
With all flesh, don't go down and plead with. So if you feel that you're getting away, you can run on the rubble. You know, if you could jump in your space force, wherever you feel your money could see you. Hey, the Lord is coming. Hey, darkness is not light. You know that?
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many. Go ahead.
Come on here. Right?
Verse 17. They that sanctify themselves, and here they say sanctify yourself.
Sanctify yourself. I want to sing in the church.
Yeah, they sanctify and purify themselves in the gardens. So the gardens represent the churches.
Houses.
Behind one tree in the midst.
So hey, let us show that. Yeah, so read back.
Isaiah 66 and 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, in the churches, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
You know what?
Swine's flesh.
Like Jennings said, nothing wrong with eating that pig. Remember he had a debate with the Muslim?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. God said nothing to be refused. Give me a big fat piece of pork. I'll show you all it. And the Muslim like, what?
Which I must take off his head. Right? So,
but Isaiah, you see, it's like that because you see, what Gino Jennings don't understand, this is a future prophecy. There is not just the Old Testament, this is a future prophecy. What was written after time was written for our learning at this time. You I don't tell you what I tell you.
And purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination.
And the what?
And the abomination.
What did God call pig?
Abomination.
What did God call the mouse?
Abomination.
We don't eat a big mouse in Trinidad. Well, not we, but the Trinidadians down here, the Benjamites down here who don't know themselves. Called Manikou or the opossum. And what did the Lord call it?
An abomination.
Lord called it an abomination. The Lord says you shouldn't eat that. But when you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you I have some kind of thing swelling on here. Sometimes you go and you see Jacob things swelling on the side of here. Sometimes the balls coming down so. And looking at the information coming out there, and the doctor says, we are no cure for that. Oh, that never happened. And Jake, I don't know, in my generation, don't have, I don't know how that happened. Food.
My question is always say, why I never do nobody nothing and think why is happening to me and that all them kind of thing.
Destroy knowledge.
All this call it wild meat boy, wild meat.
Yeah.
Allow me to have that wild meat boy.
Sweet boy.
It's sweet.
And another thing, the difference between the wild meat and the non-meat. A lot of them like man, so one thing. The carry a bag or the carry or contain poison. The rank inside. If you cut that, and that's the rank remains and we can read it party.
And the town, all them kind of things. I saw you.
So that was going to ask you, how you going to eat something? How you going to eat something? We have a rank which is unclean. If everyone eats something clean, then the one cut out, and you understand? like that. It just
It's a people eating dog now and telling you we taste dog the other day.
It's a people eating right now. People digging up eating human carcasses. In the streets eating human carcasses. You understand? The roasting it and it's why
Man, come with the scripture there and you're wrong come with the Let's know. Let finish it up now.
Yeah. So I'm saying, okay, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together.
What the Bible say?
Shall be consumed together.
The Lord say, eating pig, you will be consumed. Eating crab, you will be consumed. Eating pork, you will be consumed. Lobster, bacon, shark, everything that the Lord said not to shrimp, but not what shrimp, you will become catfish. Everything that Gino Jenner tell you to eat, they will be consumed.
That's right.
Other words, you're going to get fucked up.
Simple.
Yeah.
Like certain big restaurants now. One main delicacy on the list is shrimp.
Yeah. Shrimp and lobster. Shrimp and lobster.
Shrimp.
And the big shrimp and then they call it gumbo shrimp, jumbo shrimp. Seafood platter. Yeah, the platter. But bring it out there. And then you're after, then you go back for the eyes, yeah. But there's your 520. Go ahead, bring it out.
From Ezekiel chapter 22 and 26.
Go ahead.
The priests have violated my law.
The priest says what?
The priests have violated my law.
Wow.
And have profaned my holy things.
And have what?
Profaned my holy things.
They have profaned the holy things of Yahweh. That's right. They make, again, bring back the scripture, bring back Isaiah.
They are 5 and
somebody get the script. You get the scripture in Daniel with Daniel when he went, when the king ordered them to eat the unclean food, and they said they were just food something. Yeah, bring that out. Yeah, since we're on that topic.
5 and verse 20. Say, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Go ahead.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put better for sweet.
Read it over again. Read up my
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Yeah. Say, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
So the Lord said woe. The word woe means judgment, destruction unto them that call good evil. That call good and good evil. Correct.
Say that put darkness for light.
That put darkness. That was just world full of darkness, and they're calling this world the light, and calling what we doing here darkness.
Yeah, and that is why how we people still in our mental slavery. That is what's still about people in our mental slavery, because they take the chains off the hand and foot and the yoke off the neck. You understand? But what they keep it within the brain.
No, if it's in your brain, if it's in your brain and you're mad, right? If you're mad, right? You don't have to use some mad people. No, we can do with a madman. A madman gone. What you say after you? So you don't have to destroy them because they're not right.
That's what I say. That's why I used to say in Sawa, 2/3 of Israel is rubbish. 2/3 of Israel are rubbish, and they need to they need to be disposed of. That was born in pain, so go ahead.
That put better for sweet and sweet for better.
And sweet for better,
Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes.
Yeah, and that's them, these passes on them.
And you know he doing that, so he went going and wrap on a post. What do you mean? You know the Lord has break them up so. All can aside. When the camera take them out, this guy was playing his music, he just make a little thing to what so, and now look at him. All over. You are wrapped all over.
Yeah. So come back there, Malak. And then Yara.
From Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 26. The priests have violated my law and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane.
They put no difference between holy and profane. All right? No difference between holy and profane. And that's going on from since way back then. Right? There's nothing new that we see here. It's just that we live in a time now that the place getting more and more wicked by the second. Now you a minute.
So
That's
that's
second.
because all this what he's saying here pertains to what we did topic of slavery. Now talking about the slavery is what coinciding with the prophecy that what you're facing now. All what you're going through, Jake, is the result of slavery. You're trying to free your mind from that, and the way to get those chains out of your mind is come back to your heritage, come back to the Lord.
Come now, Yara. You finish your mother? All right, go ahead.
Neither have they so like neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean.
Neither have they shoot different from it. So now, with that now, by them not doing that, all right, our people are being left in a paranoid mindset. Yeah, our people are being left in a paranoid mindset. What are Jake today? Who is the main people you're seeing occupying the streets? Who is the main people you're seeing occupying the streets and dragging on the floor and begging for begging for a $5, begging for $1?
Look, Jacob down there too, not just the Negroes, but then go to that Jacob there too.
You understand?
Ignorant thing, man. Like Jacob there.
Who's the main people are seeing the lives is in such a dilapidated state? Yeah? Who's the main people are seeing filling up the government hotels? Who's the main people are seeing blowing away each other like you know?
The Lord said it will happen.
Yeah, blowing away like it was the 4th of July or August the 31st.
Blue.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see how some people pass that according to his mind. Because paranoid state that they cleansing. And now everybody gonna wake up, but the remnant.
Man.
So you have to send them to teach them the difference between and young people.
Because the people who set themselves up to say that they are the leaders, all right, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Watch. See what we talking about? See we talking about perfect example. Perfect example.
That's the end result. That's the end result of the whole shit.
Man,
that's the end result.
Perfect example. Continue on, brother Malak.
Focus at him. Focus. Focus at
all. Continue, brother.
Finish it off.
Yeah.
And I've hid their eyes from my Sabbaths.
And have hid their eyes from the Sabbath. This is a holy congregation, or the word is go. Unto God. All right? All that and all. Yeah, until they had the Assembly Adventists say that they keep in Sabbath, but here I want to keep in Sabbath now on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday. So you see how the whole thing just freaking just out of course it twists up.
Well, if I hear 3 and 12, as for my people, children are the oppressors, that children is going to right? And women rule over them.
God.
Oh my people.
Oh my what?
Oh my people. They which lead thee, cause thee to err.
So Jen, you causing me to err. To the Jakes, you causing me to err.
Can.
And the
Nate, you are not causing me to err.
Well, don't talk for that nigga.
Because you haven't been calling on Jesus, aka Jesus. It said Cesare Borgia. You understand? So you causing me to err. Nate, you know who you like in this around the Israelite? You having a form of godliness but denying the power of the Holy Spirit. You denying the name of the Lord. You denying the Father and the Son. Done.
Yeah. Done.
And I am profane among them.
And he's what?
And I am profane among them.
How he's profane among them? By their teaching ill, by their manipulating the scriptures and saying things and teaching things which not ought to be teach and saying that the Lord said. Yeah, and if you say the Lord said that the MOTB is an embargo, you're profaning the scripture. Can. What is this Babylon?
Right. Oh my people, they which lead the earth and destroy the way of thy path.
And destroy thy path.
Because where the Lord says, seek ye the old ways, seek ye the old path. Right? So they're not telling Israel to go back to build up that hedge for the day of judgment. You know? Right?
Well, bring it out now.
Seek ye the old ways, seek the old path. No?
All right, so
Yeah.
Yara, bring it out.
Father, 24 and verse 23. You see, and they shall teach my people the difference between holy and profane.
What verse? So,
Ezekiel 44 and verse 22. It says, neither shall they take for their wife a widow, nor her that is put away, but they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that had a priest before God, and they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean
and who is that day he's speaking about? Who is that day? That day he's speaking about is us.
And the way don't take it apart, so according to my mind.
Correct. Us. He is going to teach. We know is going to what we actually doing right now is cleaning up the mess that Christianity had put the people under. You know. That's right. That's what we're doing right now. You know. We actually cleaning up all the rubbish. You know, every time everybody come out to camp or whatever, or if they say now behind a computer or the phone doing a video, is actually doing house cleaning. You know?
Yeah, because there are a lot of you tell Christian faith over here. That was too eloquent. I love what you say. Because there are a lot of work to be done in this thing. So that's why the Apostle Paul say keep putting out the video. Because there are a lot of this still seeing a lot of mess going on.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things to clean. We still have a lot of trust
house cleaning, and who's that?
Great. Laborers are few.
And who's the house?
Yeah.
And where's the house?
We pray about Shai send laborers into the vineyard. And you pray that you be one of them laborers because great could be your reward.
And and the cleaning of the house, as I was saying, that house that getting clean is not the whole house of Israel. All right, is the house of David, the tabernacle of David that getting clean. And what is actually getting clean is your mind. It's your mind that getting clean.
Yeah, we brainwashing here. We're not brain dirty here. We washing your brain with the word. That's brain.
Get one of them down, you know. Get one of them, let them get it now. Second and just 16, you mean?
You know,
second and just 19.
You know, cigarette will kill you.
Second and just 3 and 19.
3 and 19. So you go to 20. So you go to the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, Second Ezra chapter 3 and verse 19. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire and of earthquake and of wind and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob and unto the joints unto the generation of Israel. Done. Verse 20. And yet tookest thou not away from them with a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them. Verse 21. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him.
We through Yahweh Shai, we being cleansed right now. We being cleansed through the Spirit, through the Rakat Kodash. That's why the Lord say he calls it all things to earth. So we as men and Lord, hey, we was subject to violence. We was subject in this chains of darkness, in this chains of infirmities. You understand? We subject to things that is going to go on. The Lord actually created us to go on. He has to perfect us at the end. We bring back the building back up that spiritual house of King David to be real rulers, to be the judge nation of Israel, to judge the world on you will. Go ahead and bring it out. Bring up this up.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and 21.
Right.
For sin by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead.
By man, who is that man? Read over again.
Yeah, say 1 Corinthians 15 and 21. For since by man came death.
Hold on.
Read over from the All right, go ahead.
Let's start at 19.
Right.
Okay. Verse 19. If in this life, First Corinthians 15 and 19, if in this life only we have hope in your Mashiach, we are of all men most miserable.
If in this, read that over. Read it over and take your time. Read
It say,
beautiful last scripture is now.
if in this life only,
if in this life here, this life in this carnal flesh here, only go ahead.
We have hope in the Mashiach, we are all men most miserable.
We are all men what?
Most miserable.
Can't.
That's why when they go to Jew, when they go to the Paul, why they always cursing on the flesh? They always cursing on the flesh, always talk about that they born in the chains of darkness, all this stuff. Because we know that's how we was from that higher state. How we was on top, how we was the
continue how
at the higher.
Continue how
we been at the higher. We come to the chains of darkness. No, hey, Lord bring us to north. Lord bring us to nothing.
Guys, why yourself to that brothers go for when they come into this, you gotta prepare yourself for temptation, right? Because we don't, because brothers already know they cannot charge that to get you back then. We don't, brothers from back then, I know, hey, it's not easy road you walking on, it's a rocky road.
And that's why I was paying 50 with first. I was 50 with being the ultimate sacrifice coming in the flesh. You understand? Being coming in the flesh in the chains of darkness and being tried. Who is getting tried by? One of the ultimate, one of the top straight on the left hand side, which is Satan. You understand? Satan himself come and try our shy. Yeah. So they do their judgment coming. You understand? So you have to continue. You have to continue.
You gotta continue, but it's a particular scripture. Read the way scripture there.
First Corinthians.
Somebody.
First Corinthians 15 and 19. If in this life only we have hope in the Mashiach, we are of all men most miserable.
Why? Because we will not find success in this life. Like the whole life. The Lord didn't promise us good times in this life. The Bible says you have to bear the cross. Pick up your cross and follow the Messiah. The cross represents the gospel and the bitter and the sweet that goes with it.
Because how long you actually going to live in the chains of darkness? You have an expiry date in the flesh. You understand? How long you would really live it up? How long you would and see, you know, your generation come and come. You see it come and going. While it coming, it going. Does it show that it being in this chains of darkness? It ain't shit. As the scripture say, talking about as a vapor. And what is my life? As a vapor that disappeared, you know. So that and go back to this book of Psalms. What is my life? Is like a hand's breath. So go ahead, bring it back out.
You read it over again, and you go start from. Read it over again, Baba.
First Corinthians chapter 15 and 19. Well, if in this life only we have hope in the Mashiach, we of all men we are of all men most miserable.
We are of all men because this flesh is a carnal flesh. All right. We have to look forward to Yahweh. In order for we to look forward to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right, we have to look forward to a different type of flesh. All you understand where I'm coming from? You have to look forward to a different type of flesh because this flesh here, you can't stand up for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Well, right. Different vessel flesh. But I know what the reason why I'm saying flesh. Bring it out.
First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 32.
Well,
say, if after the manner of men I have fought with beasts of Ephesus, what advantage it me?
Well,
if the dead rise not? Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die.
Right? There's fools
There's ignorant fools. Right? Right? Correct is right, you understand? Perfect fools who don't have no faith, who don't have no belief. You know whose God is the belly now, boy. You know, they're all about the self. All right? Go ahead.
Say, be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners.
All right, be not deceived, evil communication corrupt good manners. All right? Which is actually the truth. Wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. All right, go ahead.
Did I say anything?
Right, go ahead.
Awake to righteousness and sin not.
All right, awake to righteousness. All right, awake to righteousness.
Which represent the truth.
Right?
Awake to this truth and sin not.
And sin not. All right, because the wages of sin is death. All right? All right, go ahead.
For some have not the knowledge of Yahweh. I speak this to your shame.
Some have not the knowledge of Yahweh. Go back to the scripture again.
I'm gonna finish that.
Yeah.
Bring it again.
Yeah, bring it again.
1 Corinthians 15 and 19. If in this life only we have hope in the Mashiach, we are of all men most miserable.
Can. Because again, this flesh. All right, this flesh is all about carnality. As Howard does always say, vanity and vexation of spirit. You understand? Right? Go ahead, continue. Go on, sir. No.
Yeah, verse 35 and say, but some man will say, how are the dead raised up?
But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? Go ahead.
And with what body do they come?
And with what body do they come? All right? How are the dead raised up and what body do they come? What as you now say, right? Could you say what vessel? All right? What flesh they're coming with? All right? When they raise back up. Go ahead.
Verse 36, it says, thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it died.
All right? Thou read it over again.
Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it died.
What does it mean? Where's another meaning for the word quicken? No. Yeah, when they say to quicken. Wait, what else it means? What it means? To what? To make it come alive, to revive. Because the scripture say the spirit, but it's the spirit that quicken it to bring to life.
Bring it back to life, to revive.
To revive it, right? So read over the script, read over that part again.
Verse 36, thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it died.
Right? So good. Because when you go into, you can research it yourself, you can pull it up yourself on thing that I do it. When you plant a seed, the seed have to die first before the plant to shoot out. You know? The seed must die first.
Why is the seed put on top? Why is the seed drop on the glass? And then you see.
Then you understand? Right? You go now. Can. Right? So read it. We didn't go over again.
Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it died.
Right? Thou sowest. You can read it out in the NLT.
Yeah.
Out in the NLT, you know. Yeah. So get even more things I could break it down more fluent now. You know, sometimes the old English. You know?
First Corinthians 6 and 6. What a foolish question. When you put a seed into the ground, it doesn't grow into the plant unless it dies first.
Unless it what?
Dies first.
Unless it dies first. You understand? So going back to where Yashad was reading there, all right? As long as we in this flesh here, we will always be miserable. Yeah? Because we not only that we're prone to sin, all right? But we're prone to this system of slavery.
All right.
As long as we in this flesh, we're prone to this system of slavery. And the only way we can get out of the slavery that we in here is when Yahweh Shai comes back. All right, because we still because why I say when Yahweh Shai comes back, all right, because although we are runaway slaves, we still within this system of slavery. All you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, that's the way Yahweh Shai take, but he that endures to the end, the same
shall be saved. Right? So don't lose it now, don't lose it. Yeah, don't lose it, that's all.
And I want to finish it, but you going to see point out.
Oh yeah. Anyone in 19?
Nah, the 21 is
Right.
it's going back to the first
the point here. All right, yeah, no problem.
NLT. And what you put in the ground is not the plant that will grow.
What you put in the ground is not the plant that will grow,
but only a bare seed of wheat or whatever you are planting.
Or what, right? Good. So, because again, like for instance, this truth here. All who stand up here and listen to this truth here is we planting our seed in them, you know. But just because we plant that seed in them, that doesn't mean that seed will grow and blossom into a lustrous plant, you know. Because we get the analogy where Yahweh Shai give concerning the seed that somewhat
the seed is something that Lord, that seed is died to the spirit that the Lord time. Understand? Because that seed was planted because it was never to be planted. You understand? You Lord already lead to your cognition. This is something that you knew already and just bringing it back and making that plant grow.
But then the scripture also come and show you, but he planted the seed, he planted some fell on stony ground, some fell on fertile soil. He said when but they all sprung up, you know. He said, but when the sun came out, some get scorched. What the sun represent? What the sun represent? Remember when we say it over again. Scripture say so when the sun fell on stony ground, some fell on fertile soil, right? But they all sprung up. But when the sun came up, the sun was scorched up. What the sun represents? Huh? Now, all right, so on this, right? If I get the scripture, I'm going to butcher the scripture. Get the scripture. You know, Matthew 15 and 15. Matthew 15.
Matthew chapter 13 and start at the scripture say, and he spake many things unto them in parables. Say, behold, a sower went forth to sow. Right? Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside.
He says, when he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside. Not that the sower didn't sow, he sowed.
Done. And the fowls came and devoured them up.
He said, but fowls came and devoured them up.
Done.
What the fowls represent? Evil spirits, right? Evil spirits. Correct. 100% correct. Then like Jenna who come. Or even Egyptologists and whatnot. You know what Sergeant said? What he says? Seducing spirits. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth. And forthwith,
what the substance, the doctrine had no life. And really what we ask here.
Done.
If they right?
Some fell upon stony. Some fell upon stony. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside.
So he says some seeds fell by the wayside.
And the fowls came and devoured them up.
Because he sowed. So some seeds fell by the wayside and the fowls came, which is evil spirit, wicked men after Jesus came and devoured them up.
I go back into Malakan.
Go ahead.
some fell upon stony places.
So the sower go back and sow again. So he seed again. Some fell on stony places.
Where they had not much earth.
Where they didn't have much earth.
And substance.
So you sowing, well.
And forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness
Listen
of
to the
earth.
scriptures again. Go ahead.
Because they had no deepness of earth.
So they had no deepness of earth represent you, Malak. Wait, represent. Because they have no deepness of edifiers. Because they have no deepness of earth.
Let's spring up, but no, they are not deepness of earth.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I know. Tell them it was what? Hold on, I can't believe it. You come up on here and say it was what?
It wasn't rooted and grounded.
It was not rooted and grounded.
Because it did not much earth to take root.
Right? That's right.
Which means that they had nothing solid.
When the word goes down,
Meaning that they didn't fully believe.
You know that is what?
They didn't fully believe because Yahushua Mashiach is our foundation that we build it upon. So if we are seed, right, and we are to take root, we are to take root in what the word.
You're saying not all men have the faith.
Basic classic is what I'm saying.
Because when check it out, right? Because if the seed was really planted, you know, what are going after the plant? They will get the water, which is the wood, and the light. The light to go is good to bring it to nourish it. So it's going to be rooted and grounded. So you need the water and you need the light. But the light wasn't in them. And wisdom.
One more anything?
And that go back to what a plant needs sun, it needs water, it needs food too. Right? Nitrogen. When you have a shallow earth, you know, get the amount of food. The food is this word. And what you say, faith come by here and by the word. Right? So, you know, it's have faith. You understand, have discipline and watch videos. And kids take instant in the scriptures.
Better I should have right. Keep doing your videos. Keep instant in the scriptures. Praying, doing your bit. You have to keep doing that. Because now these little things could start to trip you up. Then you bounce into a guy like Boca Malone and he just cut it out the puzzle. But he falls doctrine.
Well, to 6. See, and when the sun was up, it was scorched.
And when the sun was up, they was what?
It was scorched.
Yeah, when the fullness of the word came, they couldn't keep it.
And because they had no root, they withered away.
And because they had no root in this thing, they wasn't rooted and grounded in this thing, they withered away. They withered away. Yeah, it could go back. That could also go back into Jacob's trouble.
Yeah, affliction.
Because when the affliction, with fiery trials, right? So when they won't be able to stand up there.
I think I'm withered away. When the fiery trials come, then you were.
Because it wasn't rooted and grounded.
They say, Johnny Baptist, he come after me, baptized with fire and with the Holy Spirit. The fire is the affliction. That the balance. So you had the Holy Spirit, but you can't take the affliction.
Yeah, the scripture says, for holy men of God, for holy men of the Most High is what is purged through the fire of affliction.
Done.
Continue on.
Right? Verse 7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them.
Right?
Well, right? But others fell up onto good ground.
Right. So the some fell among thorns, and the thorns came up and choked them. You understand? Yeah, false doctrine is also showing in places that way. You understand? Well, yeah.
Some fall on
Thorns.
And the thorns and the places, for example, you know, you come into this youth, and you have a brethren who into some other doctrine, he come and telling you, well, why I will believe in that is not true, boy. You know, and he come and not precept that as well too. With the question the scripture just to delay you away from really being interested in that number. That will go on there.
Yeah, it all go to solution spirits.
Yeah.
It all goes back to solution spirits.
I'm starting this right. Back to them spirits.
Understand why Lord say you was talking about that someone we call coming and saying I am God and all these things.
Continue with the rest.
Brother. Verse 8. But others fell onto good ground and brought forth fruit.
And brought forth what?
Fruit.
Right.
Some are
And
100-fold,
and
some 60-fold,
right.
and
And
some
brought forth
50-fold.
This is the food scale. You understand? And it must be a soon and good ground. Which goes back as 100% truth. If you have 100% truth, you will bring forward good food, not bro? Yeah.
If they speak not according to this way, there's no life in them. There's no life in them. You understand?
Yes, you gotta speak the truth. That's why I don't know. That's why I would always say, you know, I will always love them. You hear? I will always love them. We have this for that here. We got to do a part 2 on this because we have to go up to the piece. But somebody give me something. Somebody bring out Ephesians 6 and 10. And we go and somebody hold Revelation 19 and 7. Give me people. That is the anointing scripture. Somebody done started to read it already. Ephesians 6. What now? What was the next? What's the last one I called for? Revelation 19 and 7. Father, look at Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in your house, in the Lord. So with all the fires going through this side, we are to be strong in the power of the Lord. But and the power of his might, right? Put on the whole armor of the hour, which means clothe yourself with this word. Clothe yourself with this word.
And it roll.
Right?
You know, but
That he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, for you brothers who listen and for those who listen, but on the God, Ephesians 6, and we're starting from verse 10 going down, that is the anointing in the New Testament, the Ephesians 6. The anointing that right through, and as a church brothers all over the world, same thing.
If I could add, because what you brother saying on point, because when you read it, you understand that Lord told us to tell us so when you put on the whole armor, he make a metaphor of the armor. He say put on the breastplate of righteousness. He say make faith be a shield, make this be a sword. You understand? And these things will guide you. You understand? Even said to make that the strong is the Lord that make it my feet are like a lamp.
oh, there was
You understand? That these things the whole armor, and that's just a example.
Continue on. See, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Against what? Principalities.
and other enchantments, you know, all these so, you know, all the technical devices, can apply devices, you know, with the technology and all these things, all the martial laws, all the laws you can see, the unrighteous decrees, you know, so go ahead.
Against powers. Against what? Against powers. If you're against principality, against powers.
Yeah, the ruler of darkness, which is so you don't.
Right. Elites. Reader. Against the rulers of darkness of this world. If you're against the rulers of darkness of this world.
Yeah.
When you Christians say that, in the spirit world. Well, yeah, but it's of this world. Because they contact any spirit of Satan
on the left side.
On the left hand side. And channeling this energy in this world.
Yeah, can,
so now we are the sons of God that stand up against that.
What the scripture I say there's no enchantment against Jacob. So no matter what Esau try and do, he like a covered, you know. But they go back to scripture, the chariots is they kept around those who fear the Lord. So hey, we was covered. Go ahead.
Yes. Against spiritual wickedness in high places. In what? In high places.
Go back to the sun. Going back into all the looking project, looking glass, all these things. You know, so no matter what they try, you know, yeah, no matter what they try.
Hey, knowing this, Ephesians 6 is
the hey,
Ephesians 6 is the anointing scripture.
Right.
Yeah. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of your power, that you may be able to withstand the evil day. That you may be able to stand in the evil day. Now, when is the evil day? We live in it right now.
Done.
This is the evil day.
Done.
If it wasn't for the power Yahweh Shem Yahweh, we not be standing here doing this work. We would have been a district in it.
Walking up and down and lost.
Yeah.
As I fuck, and walking up and down.
Well,
Right, brother?
And having done all to stand. That's really your part. Because you having done all to stand in it. And that you did everything that you had to do and able to stand against the wild devil. You understand? Having done all. So you ask yourself now, if you doing, are you doing all to stand against the wild devil? Yeah. Preparing yourself fully to stand up against what is about to come.
And really hard. When that time come, you walk in the Hawaii scheme. But you saw things in the labs in Era 51 and all these things. They are super soldiers. They are people who turn into zombies, robots, you know?
But with all these things coming, we deal with the spiritual because we know we can't physically fight on all these things. So when the scripture say having done all to stand, you have to be good up spiritually within your mind and all these things. Because
you had to have faith and knowing that you have full confidence that
you had a what?
Faith with full confidence.
No, you had to follow the law.
You had a faith. Faith with full confidence that the Lord will get that spiritual power to defend yourself and destroy you with it.
Because you could practicing that law to the best of your ability. Now we see the law. It's going to save you from a robot gunning you down.
When the Lord give power to the red horse to take a piece of the earth,
right?
We see
the law will help you then.
We see.
Nobody is saying don't follow the law. We never said that. It is all it is literally and purposely go blind to and be like the deaf Arab that stop at the ear when we keep on saying nobody never said do not follow the law. You must follow the law to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
But the main thing about this whole thing here is faith. Again, all you have, just as the Christians, all you have the wrong misconception of John 3:16.
And also believing that Yahweh shall die.
Well, that's why John 3:16 is about because it's John 3:16. The depthness of John 3:16 is faith, boy.
You know that Yahweh shall die first.
Faith.
That is our deliverer.
Faith.
You're not looking on the law anymore. You're looking on the sacrifice that was made for you.
God. And had a faith in it that because where that was symbolizing. Faith, boy. Faith. If you be because and Thomas said don't. We tell Thomas. And a spirit, and believe me, a spirit like Thomas, you don't want to wrong him. That's right. And that spirit.
Do you believe? The question I Lord asked before he healed, he said, do you believe?
We all answer.
Yeah, he said he has the faith.
Only because he knows.
Yeah, don't get out there, brother.
Yeah, the scripture say, he that cometh to serve the Lord must believe that he is and is a reward of them that diligently seek him. So you have to believe that the Lord coming to save you regardless.
Regardless, no matter what. Even if it is a guy. Guys, even if it is a guy.
So they are shy to die, and we say it is finished. So as Apostle Gobada say, what does it mean? To finish the wood.
I can't, but let me finish it off. Because time on it.
Just before others die in order so in order for us to spring up, you understand, and be righteous, fruits of your passion your side, your house I have to come and die for us.
Right? So
19
Revelation.
Revelation. It's Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, for by grace are ye saved to faith.
To what? To faith. Grace is a time period to get yourself right. And that by you getting yourself right is you building up yourself in the faith of Yahweh Bashan, Yahweh Shai.
And that will matter to we of the highways and byways bringing forth that grace through the wood of Yahweh which I actually made it into the wedding. The decrease period right now. But when we out here, when the spiritual family, the wood come, hey, that's a day, grace gone. You understand? You like a seal and all hell breaking loose on the feast of the day.
And those of you trying to get something to eat, we will tell you go to the buyers and sellers.
Yeah, I think the Lord said, the Son of Man said, when he returns, shall he find faith on the earth? That's what he's looking for. You're looking for them who have faith.
I can't. Revelation 19:7. Let me come back the line. I'll be real with yourself here.
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 7.
Well,
let us be glad and rejoice.
What the Bible say?
Let us be glad and rejoice.
Wait till you speak for. But the Bible says let us be glad and rejoice. Well,
and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come.
For the marriage of the Lamb is come where?
And his wife had made herself ready.
And wife was elect and made
remnant
herself ready.
And it says a bride adorned for her husband. When the Lord come back, we want to be as a bride adorned.
Yeah, we can be adorned.
Adorned,
adorned goes back into the well-dressed.
Well-dressed.
Apparel. In white, so you that white can without spot, my brother. Thank you very much. With that, we give all praises. And double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that do well. Salutation, all the brothers all over the world, we truth, picking up our people, say divine heritage, and cursing out people because they wouldn't get the mind right. If people can just pass up and down and figure this out, you cannot figure it out if you never ask a question. And the Lord will put you to death for not asking a question too. You don't know how dangerous the truth is? If you pass by it, you never ask a question, you're in problems. And the Lord will put you to death. You ask to death for not asking a question. That's how we are. And that we say shalom. Right?